Hi, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us today, and welcome to our live session where we will be talking to you about planning and preparing to study abroad and what to look for in a university. In this session, we have 4 universities from Canada, the UK, the US, and Australia who will be giving you a quick overview on what it is like to study in their countries. And later, each presenter will share specific details on what to look for in a university. Joining us today are Victoria Riesling from Mcewen University in Canada, Claire McGrady from Middlesex University in the UK, Nick Paddock from the University of Cincinnati in the US, and Chanel Baker from Griffith University in Australia. At the end of all the presentations, we will have about 15 minutes of Q&A. However, during the presentations, please feel free to write any questions you may have in the Q&A tab, and we'll do our best to answer as many as we can during that time. Next to the Q&A tab is the Handout tab with resourceful information from the universities, which you can download at your leisure. In the polls tab, we have a series of polls you can complete at your own time as well. Thank you again, and we hope you find this session useful and informative. I'll hand over to Victoria to start. It seems we've lost Victoria. Claire, do you want to start? And Victoria can take over when you finish.
Yeah, sure. I'll just get the right slides up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I can tell you a little bit about why I think you should consider studying in the UK when you come to selecting a university option. So Middlesex University, just for your own knowledge, is based in London in the UK. But yeah, this covers a little bit about studying at any university in the UK in general. So studying at university, wherever you decide to go, means that you're going to have to make, a high financial investment potentially. And so you want to be confident that when you graduate, you'll be able to secure a job in an area of your choice that you're happy with. And UK degrees are really known globally, so all across the world, for having a really strong reputation with future employers. And that's largely because the UK is known for having a really high quality and globally recognised education. So, regardless of where you're studying in the UK, that's typically what people, it's a main attraction of why people come to the UK for high quality education. It's really culturally diverse. So you will be with students from literally all across the world. And it's a great opportunity to learn from different cultures as well, and see how they potentially work. We're really lucky in the UK because we have Europe literally on our doorstep, and it's quite easy to travel around. So you can take the Eurostar, which is a train from London St Pancras station, and within an hour to 2 hours be in Paris in France, Amsterdam and Brussels as well. Alternatively, you can get really cheap flights across the whole of Europe as well. And it's normally, kind of 1 hour to 4 to 5 hours maximum. So lots of students tend to go to Europe at weekends or for longer breaks as another way of exploring the world. It's also really easy to travel across the UK. So, to Scotland, Wales and other parts of Ireland. I think if you do come to London and you manage to really learn the tube system and how it works, you can really travel anywhere in the world. With the UK as well, we have really a really varied range of subject options. So pretty much anything that you want to study is available. From kind of arts courses more to, science-based things. There's a real variety for people to choose from. Another benefit of studying in the UK is working whilst you study. So many students take up part-time work to gain extra work experience, but to also earn some additional money to kind of cover the cost of living. As an international student, you will need a Tier 4 visa. So there will be some restriction to the number of hours you can work when you're studying, but it's typically 15 to 20 hours. So it's still enough to kind of, like I said, earn some additional spend and money to kind of help you as a student. You might also be aware that the UK government recently reintroduced what we call a post-study work visa. So this essentially means that if you graduated from a university in the UK, you can stay in the UK for up to 2 years if you want to do that, and that will allow you to work under that visa. So you could graduate, work in the UK for 2 years, and then kind of go from there. So, a really positive thing for a lot of international students wanting to gain that experience. You'd also be able to take advantage of the recent investment that a lot of UK universities have done. So what I mean by that is in the UK, there was a change to the fee structure a few years ago. So a lot of UK students were having to pay slightly more money for studying than they did previously. And as a way to for universities to help them get the most out of that investment, they put a lot of money into the facilities on university, so study facilities, what student union facilities, that kind of thing. So you could take advantage of that. And then lastly, the visa process. So we have a really clear and fair and transparent system that's quite easy to get around when you're applying for the visa, which I can tell you a bit more about in the next slide. So like I said, you'll need a Tier 4 student visa if you're studying for a full degree programme. And you have to provide a number of different things. So normally academic documents, proof of English, a proof of funds. So you need a certain amount of money in your bank account. And then you might also have to take a credibility interview. So in terms of the funds that you need, it's typically a 1 year tuition fee plus a maintenance fee. So a maintenance fee is normally just under £12,000 for London, but it can normally be less than that if you're going to other parts of the UK. So it's just something to be considerate of. And those funds have to be in your bank account for 28 consecutive days. Normally, so in around 95% of cases, once you've kind of met all those requirements, a decision is provided within 28 days. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. And if you are, rejected for any reason, you would get an explanation. So it's quite a fair system there. So just some things to kind of think about when you are starting to think of university choices. So, across the UK, there's a real variety. So you might want to think about, do you want to study in a really big city like London, or would you feel more comfortable in a slightly smaller town setting? You have a lot of campus-based universities across the UK, so that means that everything is kind of in one place. So you could essentially roll out of bed and go to your lectures because it's that close. Or you can have a city-based university where things are kind of a little bit more separate in terms of the buildings. But just really think about where you would feel most comfortable. Rankings, is something to consider, but it's also not the be all and end all. A lot of universities that maybe aren't as highly ranked within league tables have really strong industry links, and that's what you want to look for when thinking about securing a job. So that's something to be considerate of. Fees and living costs also differ throughout the UK. So if you're in London, things might be slightly more costly than other parts of the UK. But within London itself, again, you have different pockets of payments as well. So just consider that too. And I know it's a really big decision to come to university, and sometimes you can feel a bit unsure or alone in that decision-making process. But we have lots of regional reps and offices that are here to support you. So, really take advantage of that and ask any questions that you have to help you make the decision that's best for you. And I'll pass you over to Victoria now.
I'm just going to go back here to the Canada slide so we can get started. My name is Victoria and I represent Mcewan University. But before we discuss my institution, I'm here to talk to you about studying in Canada and the context of the Canadian post-secondary education system and that as a whole. The large majority of Canadian universities are public and most colleges are as well. Typically, universities in Canada will offer 4-year bachelor degrees, and colleges will offer a number of different types of programs, whether these are technical or certificate or diploma programs, and they tend to range from 1 to 3 years in length. It's also not uncommon to find institutions that offer both of these levels of programming. So while we do have large research-based institutions in Canada, we also have small specialized universities such as liberal arts universities, and we offer a blend of university and college level programs at some of our institutions. Canadian admissions are typically much more merit-based than systems in other parts of the world, like the US system as an example. We are most concerned with your grades and performance from your high school courses. If you've done previous post-secondary education, we will take that into consideration, but generally Canadian schools do not look at reference letters, personal statements, the SAT exams, or extracurriculars as part of the admissions to traditional academic programs. While some Canadian universities are internationally ranked, Canada does not generally rank schools at a national level. We do not have a traditional 1 to 100 list. Typically, schools that have an international ranking are research institutions. These may be older institutions or larger institutions that are more established across the country and have gained this international reputation. And these schools will usually also offer master's, PhD, and postgraduate programs as well as their undergraduate programs. In addition, there are many teaching-focused universities in Canada that offer undergraduate and sometimes master's programming. This means that choosing a university in Canada can be a little bit difficult. However, it also means that there is an institution with a type of programming available for every student, no matter what their fit or preference is. When we talk about studying in Canada, there are a few main points to summarize. The first is that the institutions are publicly funded and regulated post-secondary education systems. This means they are all required to report to the government and they are mandated by the government to teach to a certain quality of education. So you know as a student that if you choose the largest institution in Canada or the smallest, you will be getting a quality education and your earned credential will be recognized around the world. So any institution you start your studies at in Canada can be used to go on to schools abroad, whether that's in the US or overseas. In Canada, universities and colleges have the same quality and program structure, and this is the same across all of the provinces in Canada. As an international student in Canada, some of the benefits for you are the opportunity to work part-time on or off campus during your studies, and the opportunity to become a permanent resident. In Canada, we have an aging population. We are not making enough babies on our own, so we need international students to come to Canada, complete their studies, and stay. We want you to be a contributing member of our society, and that is why our university and college level programming offer you the opportunity to gain credit towards your postgraduate work permit. This means that as long as you're studying in a recognized program, the hours you spend studying, whether that's in a diploma or certificate program or a 4-year degree program, will count towards your postgraduate work permit and permanent residency application, which will help you stay after graduation and settle in Canada. I'm going to pass it over to our next presenter now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nick Paddock. I'm from the University of Cincinnati in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is in the Midwest in the United States of America. Looking at the United States, there's a lot of opportunity here. We have approximately over 4,000 universities to select from when looking at the university list. Most of those are going to be public institutions, while many are going to be private. There is diversity among options as well. Some institutions offer the 4-year bachelor's degree, as well as graduate and PhD. And then others offer 2-year associate's degrees, which we typically call community colleges. For our universities, many are world-renowned and ranked among the best internationally. Considering academics, the United States is known for our liberal arts programs, as well as STEM, our science, technology, engineering, and math-based programs. So when you're doing research looking at institutions, definitely look at those opportunities within the universities that have the highest rankings for those types of programs. As far as declaring a major in the US, different universities offer different pathways. So many offer direct admission. Essentially, when you apply to a university and you are admitted, you're directly in the program you've chosen, such as engineering or communication design, whereas others have a pre-program where you actually start at the university as in a pre-program with all incoming freshman students, essentially working your way through the freshman year courses to then apply and be admitted to the program your second year and then complete within the next 3 years, so a total of 4 years. Again, there's a lot of flexibility because credits do transfer between majors, and I think that's important because many of you, you have goals right now and academic dreams that may shift and change as you get older and learn new things. You might start as an engineering student and then decide, you know what, I really want to be in a marketing program and then be able to switch your degree. Experiential learning is a big part of the U.S. university curriculum. Many of our universities offer professional development while you're studying, and that's important to consider. So you're able to build that resume and apply what you're learning in the classroom out in the real world. So typically we call that cooperative education, or co-op for short. In other universities, they'll call it internships. So when you see the word experiential learning, co-op, or internships, that essentially means you're going to gain professional experience outside the classroom that can go on your resume and also contribute to your life and then your degree program. Concerning support as an international student, the U.S. does a great job. The U.S. institutions do a great job at supporting international students to not only get their visa, but while they're here in the U.S. at university. Most institutions have their own international services departments. That would be a staff of one and up, essentially, that are there to support students while they're here in the U.S. because it is confusing. You're coming to a new country to not only live and make your home, but earn a degree. You're navigating a lot of different scenarios. So these services offices provide support not only for your visa and answering those questions, but other support international students need in order to feel welcomed at home and knowledgeable about what it's like to live in the U.S. For cultural diversity, the U.S. is a very diverse place. I'm sure you're all aware. We're really proud of our diversity. At different parts of the country, you can experience different types of diversity, whether you're in the South or the Northeast, up in New England, or the Midwest, or out West. So when you're looking at institutions, they come in different sizes, just like any other country, small, medium, and large, and have different diversity populations. So when you're considering a university, be sure to check out those numbers and to see what types of students are attending at that school. And then a full campus experience, within the U.S., universities offer a lot of support and extracurriculars. So within, for example, the University of Cincinnati, where I work, it's like a small city within the Cincinnati area. So we have everything a student would ever need right here on our campus. And that can be said, that's true for most institutions in the U.S. They offer quite a bit of activities, academic support, social support, living, dining, for example. So you can expect to have a full, enriched experience on a university in the United States. And then travel. It's a big country. There's a lot of opportunity to travel outside the city that you live in. Travel can be very cheap depending on where you live. And it is a lot of fun to get out and see the world. So I'll move on here. I think I've hit my time. Thank you. I'm going to pass this on.
Hi everyone, my name's Chanel and I'm presenting Australia and then later on Griffith University. So in Australia we have 43 universities with at least one university with a main campus based in each state or territory. Most Australian universities are public and have more than one campus. It's common for students to enrol in a double or combined bachelor program, which leads to the award of 2 degrees. The most common is in the field of arts, business, law, science, engineering. Most institutions offer a comprehensive range of study areas, from science to management and commerce, humanities to engineering, law to health sciences. And we're ranked amongst the best in the world by discipline. So you've got Australian institutions, particularly in tourism, engineering, technology, health, environmental science, and accounting and finance that really rank highly. Then we go on to most universities have 2 teaching periods per year, we call semesters, and some offer 3, which is trimesters, which is the case for Griffith University. And programs often have multiple intakes, so that works really well. So for a Bachelor of Business, for example, you will have 3 intakes at Griffith University in the trimester. So normally that would be in February, July, and late October, early November, the commencements. We have quality assurance, which is called TEQSA, TESQA. It's the Tertiary Education Quality and Standards Agency. And this is for the students' rights are protected by law under the Education Services of Overseas Students, ESOS. So it's a really good high quality when it comes to student protection as well. Reasons to study in Australia, we have an emphasis on student experience and graduate outcomes. International students report almost 90% satisfaction scores for their living and study experience in Australia. We have 7 of the best student cities in the world, which are in Australia, and the Gold Coast, where Griffith is located, is the most affordable city in Australia, and that comes from the QS Best Student Cities ranking. You can gain work experience up to 20 hours per week during the semester or trimester and full-time during the trimester or semester break. We also have uni temps. It's an on-campus employment function. We find you part-time paid work within the field of your study while you're studying. If you're interested in that, that's at Griffith. Live and study in safety. It's a really safe country, and even with the COVID-19, you will all know probably that Australia's got a very low rate, extremely low, but it's low in crime rates. Our streets and public spaces are open and safe. Employment opportunities. Institutions make students work ready and understand what it takes to succeed in the global workplace. Post-study work rights. Graduates may apply to stay and work for up to 2 years. Graduates from a regional campus can apply for a second temporary graduate visa with an extra year for post-study work. That's the Gold Coast, where Griffith is situated as well. The entry requirements, so the English language entry requirements. Australia education courses are taught in English. In some cases, you may need to provide results of an English test. But normally, if you need to do that, it's IELTS 6.5 for bachelor, unless a professional body requests otherwise. The academic requirements, you would just include the evidence of your English language skills if you need to, and that will depend on the level of the course you want to study. You will need to have an Australian senior secondary certificate of education, grade 12 or the equivalent overseas. Some undergraduate courses may also have visa requirements. You'll need to meet the genuine temporary entry requirement. I can tell you more about that later. You'll need to prove that you've got sufficient funds for airfares, course fees and living costs, and demonstrate your English language proficiency spoken about, and meet health and character requirements through a doctor's certificate that will be done before you leave home and a security check. And then overseas health cover will need to be met, and we have a preferred partner which is called Alliance, and all of that's in your letter of offer and everything else that you receive. Okay, so now I'm handing over to, I believe, Victoria.
Thank you. Yes, it is my turn again. So this portion of the presentation is going to be a detailed discussion about each of the institutions, and we are going to start with Mcewen. Located in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Mcewan University provides student-focused instruction in a warm and supportive atmosphere. Edmonton is the capital city of the province and located on the western side of Canada. To put our location in perspective, Edmonton is about a 4-hour flight from Toronto or about 1.5 hours from Vancouver. Mcewen offers 65 programs, including bachelor degrees, diploma, and certificate programs. As mentioned in the earlier portion of my presentation, Mcewen is one of the institutions that does teach all levels of programming at the undergraduate level. So we have short and longer term programs, but Mcewen does just focus on the undergraduate level. We do not have master's or PhD programs. The reason for this is that at Mcewen, we focus on teaching so our students can focus on learning. The university provides a transformative education in a collaborative learning environment. And through this, we have a lot of creativity on campus. And creativity comes through research, innovation, and other opportunities that engage students, faculty, and the community. Mcewen is a mid-sized university by Canadian standards. We have about 15,000 students total, with over 1,000 international students from around the world. Mcewen has a very multicultural campus. It's a very safe and welcoming environment for students from all backgrounds. And as you can see here, we have a few statistics from campus. So we have international students from over 60 countries. And part of this collaborative student-focused learning experience is that we have small class sizes. So you can see here that the average class size is 42 students in first-year courses. And this often decreases as you get into more senior levels of study. We're able to do this by maintaining an 18-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, which gives you access to your professors both inside the classroom and during their office hours. Mcewen uses faculty to teach all of our programs. We do not use teaching assistants. And we offer these opportunities at the undergraduate level, whereas some of the larger institutions in Canada will have 300 to 500 students in the classroom, making it difficult to have access to your professors or resources on campus. So what do we offer at Mcewen? Mcewen has over 65 programs. Our main faculties and schools include the Faculty of Arts and Science, where you'll find the Bachelor of Arts degree, which focuses on humanities, the Bachelor of Science degree, which has everything from mathematics, psychology, physical sciences to computer sciences. We have a School of Business, which has our Bachelor of Commerce degree. This is our primary business program, but we also offer a number of short-term business programs, such as a business management diploma for students who are looking for a Canadian credential, but do not want to commit to completing a full bachelor's degree. We have the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communication. In this program, you'll have everything from the Bachelor of Design to a Fine Art diploma, to communications, which includes journalism and professional communications. We also offer things such as theater arts and performing arts. In the Faculty of Health and Community Studies, you'll find a number of programs that allow you to interact with the community. This includes everything from the Bachelor of Child and Youth Care to early childhood curriculum development to acupuncture or massage therapy or police studies. The Faculty of Nursing focuses primarily on the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. We also offer psychiatric nursing. And in Canada, nursing is a very highly regarded profession. It's a very high paying job and offers students the opportunity to work in a medical profession without having to go through the difficulties of becoming a doctor, which is very difficult to do in Canada and takes a minimum of 8 to about 12 years to complete. Whereas nursing, you can be done in 4 years and work alongside doctors, physicians, and surgeons. For students who may not be ready to enter into degree level programs, we also offer upgrading and preparatory programs. This is everything from English as an additional language through the Foundation Program International and University Preparation. As a note, applications for international students always open on October 1st for the following academic year. So this year, on October 1st of 2020, we will start taking applications for fall 2021. Mcewen University does offer a limited winter intake. We are still accepting applications for the programs that are listed on the screen here. So if you are interested in coming to Canada for January, we will be accepting applications until September 30th of this year. Applying to Mcewen. So the Canadian system, as I mentioned, is very straightforward. We typically focus on your academic performance, and applying to Mcewen is just as easy. We use a common application system called Apply Alberta, and this is for all post-secondary institutions in the province of Alberta. You simply create a profile and then select up to 2 programs that you would like to apply to. Once you've completed this, you simply upload the required documents, which are going to be your high school or previous post-secondary transcripts, proof of English language proficiency through an IELTS or TOEFL or equivalent test, and a copy of your passport, and you're done. There are no essay or SAT requirements or statements of intent or letters of recommendation at Mcewen. Some of our programs do have criteria in addition to the academic requirements. These will typically be for more specialized programs, such as the Bachelor of Music, that assume a baseline level of skill or understanding of the subject material. For instance, admission into the Bachelor of Music program requires applicants to also submit an audition tape on their principal instrument, while the entrance into our social work program requires students to have a certain number of volunteer hours to demonstrate an understanding of what the work is like. Other programs may have a physical fitness component or a police reference check or a writing test if you're going into any of our fine art, literature, or communications programs. Studying in uncertain times. Mcewen University is committed to serving international students facing uncertainty due to the current global health situation. Mcewen will temporarily accept the Duolingo test for students who are unable to access traditional measures of English language proficiency. And we have also started offering deferrals and refunds in light of the global health crisis. Typically, Mcewen has not offered the opportunity to defer in the past, but right now we are being much more accommodating for our students because we know that travel, border entry requirements, and things can make it quite difficult for students to get to campus in time to start their studies. While academics is your priority as a student, Mcewen offers hundreds of extracurricular options to keep our students engaged. Whether you're interested in student government, athletics, student clubs, or work experience, Mcewen has an opportunity for you. And that is pretty much the conclusion for Mcewen University. I would just like to remind students that we understand that choosing a university is a very big decision with many factors. We have a number of resources available to help you make those decisions, and we're always open to chat. So I hope you will consider Canada as a study destination, and that if you are looking at Canada, that you will consider Mcewen University when planning your future. So I'm going to pass it on to Claire now.
Thank you, Victoria. So yeah, I can tell you a little bit more today about Middlesex University in London. So Middlesex has over 40,000 students across the world. So we're quite a global university. Of the 40,000 students that we have, 25,000 of those are based at our London campus. So we have 3 campuses across the world. So we have one in London, one in Mauritius, Dubai, and Malta as well. In London, we're in a place called Hendon, and so that's where our campus is based. It's really easy to get in and out of central London on the metro or tube system, as it's called. It roughly takes around 30 minutes, and the tube station is about a 10-minute walk from the campus. You can also get buses really easy as well if you want to get in and out of central London. We have a really diverse student community with students from over 140 countries, representing 44% of the student body. So, we get a lot of international students, and like I said, it's quite a global place. And that is reflected in the rankings as well. So in the Times Higher Education Young University rankings, we were voted 79 globally. And then with just looking at the UK, we were placed as number 1 and 15th most international university. So as I mentioned, we've got not just the campus in London, but we actually have campuses across the world as well. So we have Dubai in the UAE, we have Mauritius, and then we also have a campus in Malta as well. So it's something just to be mindful of. If you decided to study at our London campus, a really nice advantage that you have is if your course allowed it, you can look at doing a year study abroad as part of the degree in one of our other campuses. So you could study for 1 or 2 years in London, do a study abroad year in one of the other campuses, get that real global experience, and then come back and do your final year in London as well. So that be a really great thing to have on your CV, and it means that you've experienced another culture as well. So in terms of what we offer, we've got a real range of courses. So we have an International Foundation Certificate, and this is aimed at anyone who just doesn't meet the entry criteria to come on to an undergraduate or a postgraduate degree straight away. So if you just fall slightly shy of our typical entry requirements, this program means that you can still come to Middlesex, you can still be a Middlesex student and part of the community, but you would just do this 1-year program to really bring yourself up to speed and give yourself a chance to really come into the undergraduate program and thrive. We then obviously have a full range of undergraduate degree programs, postgraduate degree programs, or masters, and research programs as well. We do offer pre-sessional English, so if your English language, again, just falls slightly short of what we need it to be, again, you can still come to the Middlesex campus and be part of that community while studying towards your English program. And we've got a full range of different levels for that as well. So Middlesex is split into 3 main, what we call academic schools or faculties. And they're really closely aligned to business and industry. So they are the Faculty of Arts and Creative Industries. We then have the Faculty of Business and Professional Industries and the Faculty of Science and Technology. So what kind of courses fall under these faculties? So for Arts and Creative Industries, you've got a whole range of courses, but they typically cover things like animation and games design, fashion, illustration, graphic design, media and journalism, and fine art. For business and professional services, a lot of the programs that you would typically expect to see, so marketing, business, international business, MBA programs, human resources, finance and law. So again, a real mix of things that you can study there. And then in terms of science and technology, you've got health science, environmental science, computer science, psychology, and sports sciences. So we have world-class facilities in our London campus, where we've spent over £200 million invest in one of London's biggest and best equipped campuses. As I said, we are a campus university, so it means that we have everything within one place. So you have your kind of catering and eating facilities in one area, along with student accommodation, your actual lectures and classes, sports facilities. It's all within, a couple of minutes walk. So it's a really safe and secure environment, and you don't feel like you've really got to go too far. We've got bespoke spaces for course and industry, which meet latest course and industry requirements. That includes the Grove, which is a centre for art, design and media. And we've really invested in cutting edge technology and labs for science as well. And like I said, we've got, because we do a lot of performing arts courses, so dance, theatre and music, we have studios and spaces specifically for those. So it means that, if you are studying a course that's a bit more hands-on and it's not necessarily in a lecture space, we really have provided you with the best facilities to help you with that course. And it means as well that when you graduate and go into the world of work, you'll be used to using the specialised facilities that you'll be expected to use when you graduate and get a job, because you'll have had those at our campus, which gives you a real advantage when you graduate. We have a strong focus on employability. So when you graduate and go to get your first job, to have a degree is one thing, and that really a lot of times puts you or sets you aside from other candidates. But what is coming up increasingly is that employers are also looking for people that have real good work experience skills and have strong employability skills. So we want to make sure that when you graduate from Middlesex, you have both of those. You've got your degree, but you have gained some real world work experience that you can use when you go into your first jobs. So the course content is developed with career outcomes in mind. We partner with government and private providers as well. We have a lot of accreditation from relevant professional bodies, which again will really help you stand out, and it's a great thing to have on your CV that if a course has been accredited from a professional body. There's lots of great opportunities for placements and work experience. So you can study for a full year doing a placement or a work experience. And we have support to kind of get you set up for that. So you don't need to necessarily go and find a company to do work experience with. We can normally help facilitate that for you. And we've got a lot of industry links, including live projects. And then we also have what we call a student ambassador scheme. So this is a great way to gain a bit of extra work whilst you're studying, and it helps to bring in some extra money as well. So you essentially become an ambassador of the university, helping to give other prospective students a bit of an insight as to what it's like to be a student at the university. We have a lot of support facilities for our students throughout the campus. So we have a library that is open 24/7. Again, like I said, because it's a campus environment, it's really easy to access it and get around it. Within the library and then also throughout the campus, we have laptop and equipment loan schemes. So if you don't have access to a laptop, or maybe yours is broke for whatever reason, you can actually loan laptops out and we have a real big range of those, so you should be able to access one fairly easily. We've got academic and peer-to-peer support, so you can get that on campus. Specialist technical staff, uni help, which is available 7 days a week. And then we have our active student union as well, which is there to represent the views of all of our students. And it's something when you join Middlesex University that we actively encourage you to sign up and be a part of. And so finally, just to cover living on and near campus. So we do have halls of residence or else accommodation on our campus. So we've around 1,000 rooms. They typically cost between £90 to £130 per week. And this includes all of your bills as well. If you don't want to live on campus, we do have private halls as well that we can help direct you to. And it's all an online application process. If you do have any questions about studying at Middlesex, please do just put them into the chat at the side and I'll try my best to answer them. And I'll pass over now to the next person. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Victoria. I think I want to go to Mcewen and Middlesex now. Great universities. All right, everyone. Again, my name is Nick Paddock. I'm from the University of Cincinnati in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm going to kind of move through these slides a little quicker than normal due to time, just to ensure that we have time at the end for you all to ask questions if you have them. Okay. So UC is considered a mid-sized institution in the U.S. So we have about 46,000 total students between our main campus and our 2 regional campuses in Ohio. You'll see here at our main campus, we have about 26,000 total students. About 3,500 are international students, and that number is growing rapidly, along with our true out-of-state. So people come from other states around the U.S., and then the multicultural students as well. So we're really proud of our diversity. It's changed quite a bit in the past 10 years because we've become a #1 destination university. #1 return on investment is important. We've received that honor for 4 years in a row from Mike. It is important that you get a great degree and have a great career in life after you graduate. So we're really proud that we do set people up for success, and we're ranked #1 for return on investment. We have 11 colleges that make up our university. 9 of those are here at our main campus, and they offer 350 undergraduate programs. 50 of those undergraduate programs are ranked top in the nation. So if you're looking at UC and you're looking at our programs and you're thinking, what's ranked, what is excellent, I'm going to give you a quick short list just to pique your interest. The information technology program, education, anything engineering, anything design and art related, anything business related, nursing, and then our medical sciences program, which is an undergraduate medical program. It's one of the only, I think there's 2 now in the nation. We have the first one, and it's housed within the medical college. It is not a medical degree. It is an undergraduate degree, but it does prepare you to move in that direction to get in the medical field. On campus, you can expect most of our class sizes to be 40 students or less, and there's high academic ability here. We have a very rigorous university honors program many of our students are admitted to, and they're very proud of that. So academics at UC are very strong. Everything at UC is direct admit. So when you apply to engineering, for example, and you're admitted, you're in first day. So you don't have to worry and stress about trying to get in your second year. Okay. Some of our programs are 4 years, and many of them are 5 years because of the cooperative education and internship programs. So you'll be working and getting that professional experience while you earn your degree. At UC, we work with students while they're in school, towards their career, and after they graduate. That's our Bearcat promise. Bearcat is our mascot, for those of you who don't know. Experience-based learning is what we do best. All students at UC are required to participate in one part of experience-based learning. So co-op that you can see there in internships are ranked #1 in the US among all public institutions and ranked #3 in the US among all universities. It's something we do really well. Students do love this part of our curriculum, and I encourage you to take a look on our website to learn more about co-op and internships, and of course, the others listed there. Study abroad is a big part of our culture too, and we offer a lot of scholarship money. So as an international student, if you enroll at UC and come here, you can also have another international experience at a different country working towards a degree. And it may cost little to nothing for that independent scholarship program we offer. As far as services, I talked about the US offering a lot of services for students. Here at UC, we have many to offer. Academic advising is number one. I think it's really important that students like yourself come here and know what you need to do to earn your degree and know what pathways you have to be successful. So academic advisors at all of our colleges will work with you directly one-on-one to ensure you're in the right classes to earn your degree, but also seek other opportunities such as a minor or certificate or a double major, right? And then there's other professional experience-based learning opportunities too. Living on campus is a lot of fun. We have 11 residence halls right on our campus. When you walk across our campus, it may take up to 15 minutes and that's it. So we're a big university on a small piece of land. So we have kind of like a city within the city, like I said before. So as a first year student, as a freshman, you will be required to live on our campus just for the first year only. And then after that, you can choose to live on campus again or move off into the community right around campus. There's a lot of apartments and houses and whatnot. As far as if you like to work out, I'll just mention our recreation center is ranked #1 in the nation. So it's really fun if you want to be healthy. Concerning getting involved on campus, we have over 500 student-led organizations. Okay, so that's something every student's involved in. And is a big part of you. It will be a big part of your life when you're here at UC. And then athletics, of course, US is big for our sports, right? You all know about American football and American baseball and basketball. We're a Division I athletic school, so students typically all show up to the games to root on our Bearcats teams. And if you do love to play, you can go to gobearcats.com and check out our sports and see if you're a good fit for one of our athletic teams. Cincinnati is a great city. It's not huge like New York, but it's not teeny tiny like a small little city you might be thinking of. So we're considered a mid-sized city. We have a lot of large corporations that have offices here, and 9 that are headquartered here. So many of our students actually, they can co-op or intern all around the country and the world, but many actually might stay right here in Cincinnati and do those co-op internships. And many people actually stay because it's a beautiful city to live in, it's affordable, and again, there's a lot of professional opportunities here. As far as applying at UC, you'll have to use the common application to apply. Many US institutions use this application process. It's where you can fill everything out in one portal, upload all your documents, and be done, right? And pay that application fee. So we do look at your high school grades, your transcripts. We will look at a test. So you can take the SAT and submit that. If you don't take the SAT, we will also look at a test of English and a test of math ability. So that test of English, of course, there's many different options. I think I included a quick snapshot here of our website. So you can see here along the top, the red bar, you take the IELTS, the PTE, TOEFL, Duolingo, Cambridge. So there's many different options for that test requirement. For the math test, we offer our own through the university. So you can simply sign up for our own math placement test. When you apply, the application opens August 1st for next year, fall 2021. You can expect to apply before December 1st to be reviewed for all those competitive programs. Excuse me, I'll jump ahead a little bit here. The list there for those colleges I talked about earlier with those competitive programs are top ranked in the nation. You would have to apply before December 1st to really be to have access to those programs because they fill up pretty quickly, and then have full review for all scholarships at UC because there's no separate application to be reviewed for scholarships at UC. I did skip through some slides. That advanced credit, that IB credit, we do accept all that advanced placement credit through your application, and it will go towards your degree program, depending on what program you selected. Concerning scholarships, we have the UC Global Scholarship and the International Outreach Scholarship. Those are 2 different offers. Again, you just use that common application, submit it, and we'll use that for your admission to UC and for that scholarship review. Typically, students are awarded anywhere from up to typically $15,000 per academic year. It is merit-based, it is not need-based. We are looking at your academics and your academic ability, and then other aspects of your application, your activities, and your involvement within your school and community. So to have the most generous award amount, you need to apply before December 1st. We do have a wonderful virtual tour on our website at the homepage. I encourage you to check it out. I made it. I'm really proud of it. It's been around for a few years, and it's been very useful during this time. And concerning finding us on UC, definitely check us out here. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for your time. I hope that you'll choose UC. Okay, Chanel, you're up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Hello, everyone. I'm back again. So that was exciting. Thank you very much. I've loved all those, the 3 presentations. So now I'll tell you about Griffith University. We're in Brisbane and the Gold Coast in southeast Queensland, Australia. So it's a subtropical climate where we are, so beautiful weather. We have good rankings. You can see here. Whoops. Let's see what's happening here. There we go. So you can see some of the rankings here with the Times Higher Education. We're 35th in the world for young university rankings. We've got the US News Best Global Universities and a lot more here. So the rankings are pretty good at Griffith University, and we're proud of what we're doing in that space. Subject rankings, so we're in the top 10 with hospitality and tourism management. We're ranked number 2, second with the Shanghai rankings, and number 1 in Australia. We're very proud of that. And with nursing and midwifery, we're ranked 4th with the Shanghai rankings and number 1 in Australia. Nursing is very popular at Griffith. It's offered both in Brisbane and on the Gold Coast campus. Hospitality and tourism management is the same. The Gold Coast is one of the main tourist destinations in Australia. Top 50 rankings, you've got hospitality and leisure management, ranked 11th in the world and number 1 in Australia. Marine ocean engineering, ranked 13th in the Shanghai ranking. Law, ranked 29th and 1 in Australia with Shanghai, and 101 to 150 with the QS. And the performing arts, we're ranked 42nd, and with QS number 1 in Queensland. So we have the Queensland College of Art with that area. Let me go to the next slide and see what we've got there. Oh, here's some more. So you've got development studies with QS. This is the top 51 to 100. Energy science and engineering, education and training, political science, social policy and administration, sports-related subjects, and water resources. We have over 200 degrees, so it's a comprehensive university. It's a research university. Business and government, the business school is one of the largest faculties. Criminology and law. Criminology is renowned in Australia at Griffith for the oldest criminology school, and we have an innocence program, which you can Google to see that. Education, teacher education, architecture, construction and planning, engineering, IT and aviation, medicine, dentistry and health. Most of the health sciences is offered on the Gold Coast campus. Humanities, languages, social science, and then you've got science and environment, visual and creative arts, including the Queensland Conservatorium of Music, the Queensland College of Art, which is the oldest arts college in Queensland, and the Griffith Film School, which is the largest in Australia. Employability, we include real-life industry experiences in our degrees with work-integrated learning, as well as lots of other areas that I can tell you about. Internships and industry placements, leadership programs. The Griffith Honours College is the only university in Australia that offers this. So if you're high achieving within any bachelor's degree, you'll be invited to join the Honours College. And if you are, I highly recommend that you accept, because it's a wonderful opportunity, great on your CV, and companies really headhunt those students. The community internship is available for undergraduate, postgraduate students, and for study abroad if you just want to do 1 or 2 trimesters down at Griffith. It's for credit. It's 10 credit points, which is like 10 credit points. It's voluntary, and it's with a non-for-profit, non-government organisation in the field of your study. And we have over 450 placements in that field, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. But it's a really good opportunity, and it's about contribution and supporting the disability. Very, very impressive and great on your CV. Mentoring, we have careers and employment service, exchange and short-term programs. So when you're down at Griffith, you're also able to do outgoing mobility. It could be just a summer, couple of weeks, 3 weeks somewhere in the world, or it could be 1 trimester or even a whole year, depending on what you want. and we offer scholarships for that as well. Student life, it's about meeting new people, making friends, and really enjoying the Australian lifestyle, which is really safe and beautiful. You've got sport and fitness, clubs and societies, any religion groups are all there. It's very diverse and multicultural. Food and market days, and of course, orientation as well. To know your options, so no matter what level of study you've completed or what English level you have, we have a really wide range of offerings. So from the beginning, you can do the direct entry program if you need English, which takes you straight into a bachelor's degree. It's guaranteed. You've got Griffith College as well for a foundation or a diploma program. If you do the diploma, you'll do 1 year at Griffith College, which is on our campuses, and then move into year 2 of our bachelor's degrees. You've also got a master's qualifying program there to take you into the master's degree. And then you've got study abroad, which is 1 or 2 trimesters or exchange at Griffith. That's a really fun way to meet people, really experiment and enjoy the living experience in Australia, travel, etc. And you've got your research PhD degrees as well. So how to apply? You can apply online, or you can go to one of our agents, and all of that information is online and in the handouts. When you go to the guide, you will find all the links to everything you need to know. So it's very easy to find this. You choose the degree you want. You meet the entry requirements. Check if you're eligible for credit in case we can cut your degree shorter, especially the bachelor's degree. Prepare all the supporting documentation. Make sure it's all translated into English and certified. And then you apply online, which is very, very straightforward and streamlined and fast. So very efficient. And then you will receive a letter of offer. And when you're ready, only when you're ready, you will accept your offer and pay the deposit. So that's the application process. Cost of studying. Australia is an affordable and friendly place to study. We offer really good and very high living standards, especially on the Gold Coast. So the campuses are both really high in facility and the standard of all the facility. The cost of living in Southeast Queensland is considered the most affordable in Australia. The total cost of studying in Australia will include your tuition fees, your visa application fees, your overseas health cover for the entire period you'll be studying, and your return flights. Cost of living, you can see there's different ways in which to have accommodation, but normally per year when you're present in Australia, we suggest that you would have Australian dollars, 21,000, just over 21,000 Australian dollars, and that would cover your whole living, including all your expenditure outside your tuition fees. You can see living off campus is cheaper if you live off campus with other students in fully furnished apartments or houses. It's cheaper than living on campus. But of course, you've got on-campus options as well. And you also have home staff, which a lot of students like, to be with a family. Accommodation on campus, off campus. We have temporary accommodation. If you get there and you're living off campus, you will be picked up, all of you, from the airport free of charge, which you will book at least 72 hours in advance. And we will take you to temporary accommodation or your on-campus pre-booked accommodation. With temporary accommodation, it could be cheap Airbnb or backpackers, and you've got homestay as well. All right, let's see here. Scholarships are available. There are a lot of scholarships down at Griffith in all different areas. And what we've just put up recently is the 2020 support scholarships. So they're 20% for anything you do down there, if it is undergraduate, postgraduate, or study abroad. So we've got the International Starter Scholarship, which is 20% off the tuition fee. And the continuing students, you've got the continuing scholarship as well for 20%. So that works really well. Otherwise, we've got 25% and 50% scholarships as well. So that's all there. And you'll see that on the website. Again, all this information is in the handout, the Griffith Guide, which is in the folder there. So that's a little bit about Griffith. I hope it was helpful, and I'm available to answer questions as well if you'd like to ask me. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Is it now over to Eleni, I think?
Yes, thanks, Chanel. Okay, thanks, everyone. Right, we have a few questions here. Okay, right. Someone had asked, how long does the visa process take for studying in Australia? Well, I think Chanel has answered that. But Chanel, do you want to talk more about it? Do you want to say something more?
I'm not sure how long it takes for students from this region, because normally I represent Griffith University for Europe, which probably doesn't help. But so I can't give you any more detail, but my colleague Stephen Lewin, who will be answering all questions afterwards via email, if you'd like that, he will be able to answer that. He's responsible for your region. So I can't give you specific details, but for this region, it can be very quick indeed. But for your region, you need to meet other requirements for the visa process. So sorry, I can't go into detail about that.
All right. Thanks, Chanel.
Fine.
Okay, so how are athletic scholarships awarded? Nick has already answered that in the Q&A, but Claire and Victoria, do either of you want to take that as well?
Sure, Victoria here from Mcewan University. So we typically, the scholarships that are available for international students are academic based. It is an automatic assessment for students, so there's no need to submit an application. Once you get a letter of admission for the program you've applied to, you will automatically be considered. When we talk about the athletic scholarship, it brings the international tuition down to about 1/3 of the cost. So it is quite significant. We cover 2/3. And to be eligible for an athletic scholarship, you would go through one of our athletics recruiters. So you need to be admitted to the university first, and then we would connect you with our varsity athletics office, who would then ask for either, video footage, or they would have you come and try out for the team. So you can be conditionally awarded an athletic scholarship, but you have to make the team and be part of the active roster for those funds to be given to you.
All right, thanks, Victoria. Claire, do you want to take this as well? The same question. Does this apply to the UK?
So I'm not 100% sure if Middlesex has sports scholarships, but I could certainly find out and we can send a response. But we do offer normal academic merit-based scholarships where you can potentially get up to £5,000 depending on where you're coming from. And with that, it's quite easy to apply. There's no kind of real official deadline, but normally we ask students to apply by mid-August for the September intake in order to be considered.
All right, thank you, Claire. Another question here we have, what's the placement and acceptance rate? Nick has already answered that. Chanel, do you want to take that?
I think it went straight to the person that asked. What was the question?
What's the placement and acceptance rate in Australia?
The placement and acceptance rate is very high in Australia, as long as you meet the entry and the visa requirements. So as long as that's complete, there's a lot. We don't have that many programs, except for some in health science, like nutrition and a few others that have quotas, medicine, dentistry, they have quotas. But otherwise, we don't normally have any issues with that. It's easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Daniel here is quite keen on his question on full scholarship, athletic scholarship, but I think we've answered that question. But Daniel, please do write another question. If it isn't clear, let me know. Okay.
Griffith University doesn't have actual sports scholarships for international students, unfortunately, but there are other scholarships there. And the best scholarship we do is a 50% of each year, the best that we do. Full ride scholarships, like the whole 100%, we don't offer at Griffith.
And I can add to that as well with Chanel.
Yeah.
At UC, we don't offer full ride scholarships. We offer just a handful per year. So typically ours is up to about 50% of the total tuition as well, just like Chanel had said for her university.
Yeah.
I will add for athletics, it is a bit different. So it can be, for athletics, they do offer a number of full rides or much more support because of being a Division I athletic school in the NCAA. They do that.
Okay, thanks, Nick. I think those are all the questions we have so far. So thank you, everyone. And for the students, I hope you found this useful and informative. Like we said in the handout tabs earlier, there's information from Griffith University and Middlesex if you'd like to download that. Yeah. And yes, thanks, everyone. And I think this is a wrap.
Thank you very much, everyone. It was a joy.
Same, agreed. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Ellie, for your message.